We are back here at MJ BizCon 2022 with my friends Simone and Javier. Our producer is just so much fun sometimes. Anyway, so yeah, we're in day, what is it, Tuesday, Wednesday, is it Thursday?
It's Thursday.
My God.
Nobody knows. It's weird, right?
It's like a lifetime here. It's just amazing. You know, so we've been here since Tuesday morning, and now it's
We've been
Thursday
aging.
morning. So much stuff is happening, not just in the American cannabis market, but we've got two really cool individuals here to give us an update about what the progress and status is of cannabis in Latin America and Argentina and Chile. Want to introduce you. What's that noise there?
We don't know. There's so
Someone
many
else.
things going on.
Yeah, someone else.
The others.
Something
There's
is
another
really loud.
There's another podcast over there.
Yeah.
We'll survive.
What is that?
The other podcast.
Yeah. So anyways, so I'm here with my friends Javier and Simone from Argentina and Chile. How's your MJ BizCon been so far?
Dude, I'm overwhelmed. I'm honestly overwhelmed. It's like I'm gonna say too much. I'm gonna go with too much. No, but it's my first time here. I've been in this same venue for Champs Trade Show, which is like a totally different story. But this is amazing. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be part of this story and to see how you guys build such an industry around our beloved plant.
You know, it's amazing. I just realized that echo is us.
Really?
That noise. Yes. Yeah. I was
So we are the others.
Yes,
that's amazing.
We're
That's a plot
it's so
twist.
loud. It's just hard to understand.
That's a plot twist right there.
It's hard to understand. We'll turn that down because it's a little confusing for us over here.
All right.
So, anyways, you know, people don't understand. This is a commodity that's an international plant. It's around the world, and there's a lot to talk about because let me tell you, you guys don't know me that well. I don't know you that well. I've heard of you. You've heard of me. You've heard of Mita. We've heard of each other.
I've written about you quite a bit over the last 10 years.
Yeah, but
appreciate
Javier knows
that.
everyone.
fair.
That's a special
appreciate
freak.
that.
Javier doesn't count for this kind of a networking thing.
But one of the things I realized, I got in the industry 10 years ago, is there's a beautiful culture around cannabis. Yeah, we all talk about it in America, but whoa, hang on a second. There's a unique culture around cannabis in Spain, in Chile, in the mountains of Oaxaca, in Argentina, and around the world. There's all these little niches and patches of what's been happening in cannabis, and they've been dealing with prohibition and their drug war. It's not all about the United States.
It kind of is. It kind of is.
No, you're right.
If you ask me,
Yes.
if you ask anyone
Yeah, we did
who's
it. I got it.
knowledgeable,
Yes.
they will tell you prohibition emanated from the United States.
I agree with
Started
that,
in the 30s, picked up in the 70s, the war on drugs, Esslinger.
You're making me feel bad about being an American.
Reefer madness. The window, to punch up
Yeah,
on
but-
America is closing up real fast. So
Nixon-
I'm going to take advantage.
Nixon got us all in trouble.
Don't make me say make America great again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
But
just-
it happened. It's already done.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. My apologies on behalf of my country. We fucked up the rest of the world. And regarding the drug war,
It's all good. You also gave us like Nirvana.
That's true.
Like, I don't know, Apple.
Beach Boys.
movies.
All
Beach
the
Boys,
good stuff.
The
Yosemite.
Beatles, Queen, U2. Oh wait, no wait.
No, the Beatles.
We're Americans. We just take credit for shit.
Yeah,
Just
it's
kidding.
English. Yeah,
So,
you invented it.
Let's talk a little about who you guys are and what you do in the cannabis space. Simone, do you want to go first?
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. So, thank you so much for the invitation. It's an honor to be here with my really good friend Javier. We're cousins in the industry in a way. I'm Simon Espinosa. I'm the founder of cannabis media called Vola. Vola is it's built around a community. That's our main source, if you will, or our origins comes from a community. So it's a very strong, solid, and growing community that has allowed us to build a media around it, and also that company later on integrated several business units like distribution and e-commerce. So we started becoming a platform for brands that want to engage with the Latin American cannabis community, like a resource for that people that offers not only eyeballs but also an integrated supply chain.
And Vola was originally started in
Santiago de Chile.
and started in Chile.
Yeah. Now we're expanding. We opened Peru recently and Spain,
Right.
And we're now targeting the U.S. Spanish-speaking cannabis community in Florida, California, and New York.
So
hopefully, we'll see what happens though.
Are you?
Nobody knows. Nobody else. Do you want some water?
So are you bringing
I'm
brands
gonna
up?
need that too.
Are
What?
you bringing brands up to the United States that originate from Chile
Yes.
and Peru and Spain? to
It
the
works.
United States?
It works both
Both
ways.
ways, yeah.
So we offer like North American brands and European brands a safe passage and a good passage to the Latin American cannabis industry. But we also offer our entrepreneurs and brands that are locally originated a passage to the North American market, which is the biggest prize of it
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, how is it? Because I haven't been to Argentina. I have never been to Argentina or Chile. My apologies.
You should.
all. No worries. You should go though.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Am I coming? Okay,
Yeah.
I'm coming down there.
Next year we have some cool
Now,
stuff.
Chile, I mean, it's an amazing country. It's a legendary for a lot of reasons. But is there are people obsessed with California weed down there like they are in Spain? Because you know how in
Yeah.
Spain everybody's like, oh, it's California weed, and
Yeah.
the clubs and stuff, everybody wants it. Is it California weed a buzz down there too?
I think Californian weed is famous all over the world.
So a California brand should reach out to you as quickly as possible to develop their Latin American relationships, period, get it done.
I hope, yeah, we're already working with many brands in the U.S. All the major brands, like for our ancillary, side of the business,
Right.
Like Magical Butter, Boveda, Peacemaker, like Grab Labs or Da Vinci vaporizers. Well, you name it.
Yeah.
We work with all of them. We offer them this platform, this resource. But we're also always looking for new alliances, and there's like so much to do still, and so many things that are yet to be said. Like we don't know how this is going to unfold still. There's so many pieces that are not in place. So I think strong alliances are key to overcome that difficult, like all that complexity, right? So
you're
this is
here
part of what we're doing.
cruising around MJ BizCon, meeting the existing cannabis industry, developing those relationships.
To be honest, I've been mostly outside smoking weed, to be perfectly honest, but there's a lot of good networking out there.
I think MJ BizCon picked that up from Spanibus. They now have that patio out there.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
That was a great call.
You guys have been to Spanibus a few times, probably.
Yeah, I go there every year.
All right.
Yeah, it's amazing. So greetings to all the community from Spanavis, all the European cannabis community. It's such a great experience every time. They got it all. They got a good show going.
And with ICBC, the day before, there's like this business suit, 500, 1,000 people, individuals like yourself wearing your suit. And then the next day.
Yeah, I don't do suits though. I've never.
But the next day.
No, I've been a speaker in ICBC like
Yes.
a couple of times. But yeah, it's an amazing show. Yeah, it works very well.
Then the
It's
community.
massive.
The best thing I have seen in the cannabis industry, and I like moments that give me that shock and awe, was when there was a battle, like a freestyle battle of the rappers,
They do that in
huge.
everyone. Yeah.
It's huge.
And there was a Mexican rapper grower versus a Spanish rapper grower in the
420
finals
backyard battle.
last year.
420 backyard battle. Yeah.
And they went
It's
back
a big
and
thing.
forth. And I was like, holy shit, that's awesome.
So here's a non-cannabis related thing, but in Latin America, one thing that has been happening over the last few years is that freestyle battles for rap, right, became huge. So every week in every one of these Latin American countries and Spain, freestyle battles fill stadiums with 60,000 people in each country, right? And they have these leagues.
They all come. It's insane.
30 minutes for each battle. And it's like a league. They get like words every 10 seconds and every 5 seconds and concepts,
Yes.
like characters, different things. They battle, and then the best of each country battle, internationally to decide who's the best of the world. And the level, like it's a professional league. They get a salary.
It's
like,
mind blowing. What
I
those
didn't
guys do, it's amazing. It's like poetry in like when you like upspeed the WhatsApp.
Yeah.
It's like
Should we
it's
do
crazy.
some bars?
What?
Tell cannabis legalization. Let me tell you about the Washingtons that could fund dedication. We could create a lot of wealth for every state in our great nation, a multiple billion-dollar basis of new taxation.
There you go.
Wait.
I got that on camera.
No, let's. Hey, well, you know what? I wrote that on my list to Google to do more investigation because I want to learn more about the subject you just talking about. You got me to write something down. But so we'll leave that alone because we're trying to focus on cannabis. But we are on the same page with this stuff. I'm so excited for Spanibus. You'll be there in next year, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
for sure. Every
Yeah.
year. Are you coming this year? Come on.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. This time.
All right. So we talked a little bit about who you are, and now we got into Javier. Javier, tell the world a little bit about yourself and what your focus is.
Don't get jealous. I'll make it quick. So my name is Javier
Don't worry.
Hasse. I'm from Argentina. I've been working in cannabis finance and media since 2013. I'm currently the managing director for Benzinga Cannabis. Benzinga is a financial news, technology, and events company based out of Detroit. We built a very big cannabis department. We currently have more than 50 people in the company working on cannabis-related initiatives. I'm a senior columnist on Forbes, focused on cannabis and psychedelics as well. Wrote a book for entrepreneur called Start Your Own Cannabis Business, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Planteo, which is the most read cannabis media outlet in all of the Spanish-speaking world. And you know, right here we have the most viewed video platform in all of Latin America.
As you were saying that, I'm like, Your Honor, because I used to be a prosecutor, I was thinking to myself, Your Honor, I moved to have the witness declared a subject matter expert in Latin American cannabis. I mean, you just like dropped this resume that's like, this is the guy to go to.
Exactly.
For like the licensing applications, understanding what's happening.
Everything, yeah.
Give me a call.
But do you do consulting on the side to help?
No, it's a
No,
conflict
yes,
of
you do.
interest.
You just
No.
don't charge.
I just don't charge. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does. I've seen it. Like I've seen this many times.
Okay, because I was about to say, damn you and your integrity.
Damn my bank account too.
No, that's no, but you have integrity. You have the spirit of the cannabis industry within you, which is to share information and to teach and stuff. But quite frankly, there's a lot of business people that are part of META, and they're thinking to themselves, I want to tap that guy's brain so I can figure out what's next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Please,
Hit me up.
Yeah.
So just don't pay him. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's the trick.
Yeah, take him to dinner. You know, that's my story. I got a lot of free dinners because everybody else. So, but yeah.
I do get my fair share of free weed, free drinks, free dinners, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. That's the funniest thing. I haven't had to pay for a meal in like 10 years. You know, 'cause
You haven't had to, or you didn't want to?
No, I haven't. Except for I have
That's
to buy.
a whole different
I
story.
have to buy the META team food all the time.
The producer is saying he doesn't.
Yeah, I got to buy all them food. Yeah. She's eating it right now. I paid for that pizza.
All right.
Just kidding. So,
Then let me have it.
So-
Looks like a good pizza.
you know, I mean, look, at this point, I mean, just that resume, the way that you, I just love that. It inspired me. It reminded me of my days of prosecuting when I was trying to get people to establish as subject matter experts, you know. Clearly he knows what he's talking about. So what is, you know, people are thinking to themselves, I don't know what to make of the fact that one day this product is going to be international and commoditized. And I hear Colombia is Costa Rica. You know, I understand that things are going to change. Where does somebody begin to understand the dynamics of the transition that we're going to go through? And what do you think is going to happen? I mean, it's all speculation.
More or less. I mean, so we have kind of a roadmap of what's going to happen because some countries in Latin America have already moved with legalization. First thing I would say, you know,
why was it first? By the way,
first to legalize for adult use. But the first thing I would
What
say
year was
is
that? 2016, right?
14.
14.
Yeah,
2013, I would say, actually.
it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
I met those guys at ICBC. Okay, so Uruguay legalized 2000.
That might be wrong. Please let's check the data,
Yeah.
but somewhere around there.
Let's Google it.
Yeah.
So Uruguay came first.
So what I was going to say is like the first thing people should understand, right? Like people in America especially, is weed is a global thing, right? You know, it's many times people are like, what's going on with weed in the rest of the world? It's like, well, people love it. you know?
That's what's happening.
So Uruguay went adult use, but it's a 3 million people country. It's not particularly, you know, the system was not thought out to create a commercial opportunity at first. They just legalized for people to stop going to jail for weed, right?
Right.
Colombia went for the medical path in 2017, and they did focus a lot more on creating an industry. Over the following 2 or 3 years, about $800 million in foreign capital got invested into the Colombian cannabis
And a
industry.
shit ton of licenses too. They licensed like so many. They gave away so many licenses that allowed a lot of like North American companies to, you know, expand towards that goal.
Yeah.
Excuse my cynicism, but it seems like, and I've dealt with a lot of Canadian publicly traded companies across the United States, it seems like a lot of them were like trying to make it look like they had some sort of like potential gold mine in Colombia and investing a little bit of money in a license to try to get a bump in their stock.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, so there were two situations.
Yeah.
Some companies just wanted to do it as a gimmick, right? Like, hey, we're in Colombia. And then there were other companies who took it very seriously and invested over $100 million each, right? There's Avicana, Pharmacielo, Clever Leaves, One World Products by Isaiah Thomas, Flora Growth, right? There's Chiron Life Sciences. These are like, most of them are funded by Canadians, and they take it very seriously. The thing is, the expectation was that Colombia would become an export market, and regulations are not quite there yet.
Right.
Even though Colombia now moved toward better regulations, the rest of the world is just not ready because there's no framework to export cannabis, right? And there's no real demand for legal cannabis exports to the scale that they would need to cover for those investments.
But that happens in every level, right? That's like that interruption. It also happens to like the multi-state operators in the U.S. It happens to any kind of supplier that wants to go across like a local border or international borders. They're going to always face this kind of this lack of framework, as you mentioned, right? So that's what's happening also down there, of course, big time.
So Colombia,
Argentina has like a good case of that for what happened in Jujuy. I think it's very interesting to
what's
showcase.
Happening in
That's
Argentina?
that's a beautiful story.
So in Argentina, they moved to legalize medical as well.
Yes.
And at first, the first thing they did was, okay, let's take care of patients. First thing they did was like regulate home growing and a caregiver model. And then they went, okay, we need also industrial scale production to provide the people who can't grow their own. But we want the government to be involved in some way, shape or form, so that they're not, price gouging, so that we can ensure supply. And there was one province, the equivalent of a state, but in Argentina, that moved first. Jujuy. Jujuy.
Go ahead, sorry.
And they created this company called Canava, Sociedad del Estado, and it's probably the largest cannabis grow,
They
outdoor.
are amazing.
Yeah.
I think what they did over there, they are like Canava is an amazing company.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it's like the governor's company or the governor's son's company, but it's a publicly owned company.
Right.
And it's owned by the government, by the state, so it's owned by the people.
I've always wondered why there isn't more state-owned cannabis enterprises popping up. Now, even in the United States, state by state,
Well, Uruguay did the first model of them all, right? And it's based on that too, right? So it's quite like I don't know. I think unique by the very least.
So Argentina, and what happened? Did Brazil go backwards recently?
Yeah, a little
What
bit.
happened there?
It's like Rachel and Ross on Friends. Same as in Mexico. It's like, will there or won't they? Will there or won't they? It's like always just like going back and forth a little bit. They're not, like, we're not 100% sure.
Who's Rachel? Who's Ross?
Yeah, but Bolsonaro did a lot of measurements like on the opposite direction, and that's like a major thing over there. Also, like a lot of ruling or controlling power in terms of what a government does, it's giving an agenda to certain topics.
Right.
And when you have like a conservative party in place, like not giving an agenda to cannabis is one of the things that has kept us from making any regulation on that direction, right? That's what's happening in Chile as well, and Ecuador as well, and many other countries. There is a program, there is people that want to put like regulations or at least amends, in the very case, because most of the issues that are currently urgent for our community are persecution, rather
tell
than
him what happened with Dispensario Nacional. Can you tell him that case? That's an interesting
course.
case.
It's a very interesting case.
Screwed up.
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
No, you go. It's your country.
Okay, so
It's your country.
Yeah. So every country has like a different landscape for this, right? So
Right.
dispensaries in Chile started with Dispensario Nacional, which was the first association for medical patients, right? So people with a medical prescription could go there, and tell to a certain community with a like what's the word for like la ONG?
Like an NGO.
Yeah, like a non-profit.
Yeah,
a
non-profit.
non-profit. So this is a non-profit organization that has a certain amount of patients, and that's regulated as well. It can only be a certain amount. And they were, giving cannabis to patients.
Actual patients, right? Like
Then they get like a complaint in the city hall, so they get raided by the police officers. They got into a trial, sorry, and they are found guilty. But not of traffic, not because of traffic, because illegal growth. Because they realized that if they wanted to charge them with traffic, they would have to go behind the doctors that gave those prescriptions.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they would be charged too.
Exactly. So instead of that, they charge this guy for illegal growth of cannabis, and they send this guy to jail. And that's like a very weird crime because there is no victims, right? So
Right, yeah.
they just let him out, and it's been a major thing down there. And so greetings to Luis Quintanilla, of course.
How long did he serve?
70 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
wasn't too bad. The guy we just interviewed
Yeah.
served like 32 years.
Yeah.
That was Rick Delesocio?
That is terrible, man. But you know, the reason why I told him, hey, share this. It's a cautionary tale as well, on what patchwork
Rick
leads
Delicio,
to.
but his brand is Delicioso.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
No, but that's very true.
It's a cautionary
yeah.
tale on what patchwork does. If we don't regulate cannabis the right way in Chile, there's like a court junctions and different things that created a patchwork that allowed the medical cannabis space to develop a little bit. But because there is no real law and formal regulation.
Exactly.
Like a judge can just go crazy, wake up, in a bad mood one day and go like, you're going to jail for supplying patients with their medicine. In Argentina, for instance, in Uruguay, in Colombia, in many states in the U.S. as well, they have a clear framework of how medical cannabis is supposed to work, right? You need to get certified by these kinds of professionals. You need to get this kind of card. You need to follow this process. This is how much cannabis you can have. This is how much cannabis you can process. This is how many plants you can grow at your house, right?
Yeah,
This
no,
is
fair
how it
enough.
can be sold.
At this point, after 10 years in the industry, I'm a free market guy.
Mm-hmm.
All these regulations, the industry should be fighting. Individuals within the industry should be fighting for less regulations, in my personal, limited licenses and licensing caps, keep people's hopes and dreams down.
Yeah.
And I'd rather have.
Yeah, that's very non-libertarian, if you ask me, right?
Yeah.
What actually happened in California or Florida or those
No,
markets,
it's horrible. People don't understand the origins of limited licensing. It's an economic abomination that has no place in human history. I'm sorry. We learned that after Europe and the kings and queens, where they were entitled to all the power and they controlled the supply chain. So when you have that system developing in the cannabis industry and people aren't reflecting upon it and saying that's just wrong, that kind of frustrates me at this point. I've done a lot of manipulations, a lot of laws in different states and different stuff in my 10 years. But after enough reflection, I will never support licensing caps and limited licensing again. There needs to be competition. There needs to be open markets. I was telling the head of the unions, the UFCW, and I'll say it again. You guys are great. Workers' rights, compensation, worker safety. But what you really got to fight for is against licensing caps and against limited licensing, because these workers, these employees, they aren't stupid, and they want to wake up in the morning, walk in there and say, the knowledge that I've acquired, I now, without government barriers to entry, can take my hopes and dreams and make something of myself.
And,
You know what I'm saying?
And also, like,
Sorry about that. I got in my soapbox there for a
No,
second.
that is perfect, man.
but what we've always dreamed with as a community is a regulation that makes it's an echo of what we are, which is like free, right? Or we're searching for liberation, right? In every way, that's what cannabis means for so many of us, right? So we want a regulation that's an echo of that, not this thing that is like, okay, all of a sudden I cannot work in the same industry that I helped to build, which is insane.
We're all pragmatists here. Everybody here is a pragmatist as well.
Yeah.
But but to hide from the truth is not okay.
I mean, this is definitely ideological, and we can debate how much regulation is needed to regulate medicine. The fact remains,
the
legalization
medical part,
does mean regulation and do as you please. Regulations could be more lax, and actually current regulations go against the ethos of America, right? Like America is the land of the free, right? Argentina is different in that way. We are more prone to regulate stuff, to regulate work.
We spoke about this, about our slogans. Remember, what was the one in Argentina?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, but the one in Chile was terrible.
We got,
Horrible.
I like to say that the ethos of humanity, because we can't take credit for everything in America. Freedom wasn't our idea; it was God's idea. we just created a nice little system that was supposed to recognize it. But what the hell? We fucked that all up, anyways, right? I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. Hey, so guys, we gotta go because we are running out of time here, and my producer is like freaking out.
He didn't like our jokes.
No.
He didn't like our jokes. I'm
Exhibit
sorry.
is next.
I'm sorry.
Is
But
exhibit next?
Oh yeah, exhibit somewhere right here.
Yo, you got a tough act to follow.
Yeah, we got tough. I'm a fan
that
of
was a
exhibit.
nice rap.
But
by
let's
the
not
way.
undersell what you guys have to offer. If you're looking to have dinner with somebody, I don't know if you're consulted. If you just call them.
Hamburgers only. I'm a hamburger guy.
If
I'm
you
sorry.
want to
No
learn,
dinners. Yeah.
more importantly, how do people find you? And do you guys have what's the best way for people to follow your knowledge? How do people
Well,
do that?
Vola, EN space VOLA. That's our media. If you Google that, it's all over. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, LinkedIn. Everywhere you can look at our work over there. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Sign up.
Check it out,
Sign
yeah.
up, and then they will gather more knowledge and information from them, and then they can also call you and get in touch with you on LinkedIn.
Anything you guys want.
Yeah.
You-
And the best way to follow
yeah.
your thought process and your perspective.
I mean, you can find me personally as Javier Hasse. I think you can see how it's spelled there on every social network. If you speak Spanish, se habla en español, elplanteo.com. We are El Planteo on all social media. If you speak in English, benzinga.com/cannabis. 40 articles a day, all you need to know about cannabis.
If you missed MJ BizCon, just watch these emails and you know who to go to. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you so much.